the Don just saved the Mavericks in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. First reactions, Chris. What you thinking, bro?
That man is nasty. You were saying nasty Nas? Man, Luka Doncic said, no, it's me who's nasty. He saw Gobert on him and went for the kill shot.
Say, bro, because I was in here getting ready. I literally walked in as the play was unfolding. How did Rudy Gobert even get on him, man?
That's their fault. That's Minnesota's fault. Why are y'all switching there? Like why wouldn't you? I don't know what their game plan was for that, but Luka on the top. Why wouldn't you have somebody come help double at the last minute? Like, I don't get why you would leave Gobert on an island like that.
I don't get why they stopped blitzing.
Yeah.
I ain't tripping. Stan Van Gundy even was saying in the broadcast, like, bro, they should go back to the blitz.
Yeah.
They just I don't know. See, and then we talked about this last time we previewed the series. We said who's gonna blink first? Who's gonna make the first adjustment? Minnesota made the first adjustment with the blitz, but then they went away from it. I thought that was very effective because you had PJ out there airballing. You had you had Derrick Jones Jr. Like it was just, and then they even did very well on Kyrie in the first half. But of course, everybody gonna talk about Luka in the shot, Kyrie in the second half. Even people gonna mention Nas Reed in the game he had. But I think the real story of this game was how bad Ant and Cat played as the stars. Because I'm looking at the box score and it felt like how it looks. So I'm looking at the box score. You had 5 guys in double figures for Minnesota. Then you had Anthony Edwards only had 21, Cat only had 15, and Cat didn't play. I don't think he played at all in that fourth quarter, if I'm not tripping, or at least not the last 6 to 8 minutes.
He didn't play a while in that fourth. Yeah, he didn't play a while because I mean Nas Reed was cooking, so why would you bring him back in? But
say, bro, I Cat 4 for 16. 1 for 5 from 3. It didn't even feel like he was dominating in the post. He got a couple of shots to go in the post, and he had a couple nice moves on PJ.
Yeah,
but
I mean, all his points mostly came from drives, and then he got some free throws. But other than that, like he's insistent on keep shooting the 3-point shot. He's insistent on not taking. He does have an advantage as far as height goes on PJ. Now PJ is a great defender, and he has been playing him pretty well. But I still feel like if you're a Cat, you're a top offensive weapon. You can score 63 points in the regular season, all that whoop-de-whoop. You should be able to, come on now, take a little bit of advantage. You're an offensive star like that. You should be able to take advantage of a PJ matchup.
Do you think not physical enough? Because it's like it feels like he was settling for fadeaways. That one time he did go baseline and he hit the spin move on the baseline. He hit the layup. I was like, say dog. My boy Isaiah King, Mavs in 6. Say, bro, this look like it might go 5 if we go keep it a buck. It might go 5, bro. The way Ant and Cat playing them dudes. Say, dog. This my thing. It just, you can't win a series when you got your star matchup. It's Luka and Kyrie, and then Ant and Cat just ain't doing their job as the stars. The coaching's been pretty good for Minnesota outside of stop blitzing. The supporting cast has been good, but say dog, stars gotta be stars, bro.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. You can't have everybody, the others, as people might like to say, doing their part. You know, even Mike Conley was hitting. Even Mike Conley was, giving you offensive scoring because he didn't give you scoring that last game. He gave you scoring this game.
Yeah, it says Ant ain't mentally there. He too young. I think Ant bit off a little bit more than he could chew with his defensive assignments. I always thought what I wanted, if I was Minnesota, I ain't gonna say what I want to see because now we close to the final, so I'm low key, you know what I'm saying? Kind of not being biased. But what they should have done is put Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Now Conley did have a good game, but who can he guard? Now you are forcing Ant to have to guard one of their best players, and you forcing McDaniels to have to guard one of the best players. Just like if you put in Nickeil Alexander-Walker for Mike Conley, now Alexander Walker can guard Kyrie, and you could switch Ant to like Derrick Jones Jr. or somebody. So because you need his offense.
Yeah.
Like you need his defense too, but you got other defenders. You don't have other scorers like that. If it wasn't for Nas Reed, this game would have been way worse. But we just gonna keep it up. And Kyrie wasn't even playing good. The thing that I didn't foresee was our bench, our supporting cast being as good as theirs. Because if you look at it on the bench points, it was what's 14 plus 8? 8. That's
22.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. We had 27 bench points, and they had 36. Minnesota bench scored 36 bench points. That's almost up there with what Indiana been doing. So if you're getting 36 from your bench, you had about 4 or 5 guys in double figures. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
It's the stars. It's the stars. Supporting
Yeah.
cast did their job. And then
I'm
you
a
know how
credit
they
Mavs.
say,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I say I'm a credit Mavs defense too. I mean, they are making sure to make it hard on Ant too. Making him guard on the offensive side, but also guarding him tough too with bigger wing defenders.
Are they really? I have seen moments where Josh Green did pretty good on them.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen moments where PJ switched on with Derrick Jones Jr. But I think he's just having to chase around Kyrie and sometimes getting switched on Luka. That's just a lot going on. You got to deal with Kyrie's speed and shiftiness. And then when you get switched on to Luka, you got to deal with his strength and how that wears you down. I
Yeah.
think you just gonna have to just sacrifice Anthony Edwards' defense for his offense in this particular series. Because you're gonna have to go bucket for bucket at some point, like we just saying. You gonna have to go
Yeah.
bucket for bucket. And if you ain't got no gas, because he gassed out game one. Anthony Edwards gassed out. He gassed out. So if I don't know. You got to make that sacrifice, bro. You got to make that sacrifice. My thing is going forward, bro. Cat job on the line, bro. His job on the line, man. Because Nas Reed is smarter. Cat got 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes. You my big man, you a 7-footer, you going 4 for 16. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we could use something else. Mike Conley getting old. We can use another point guard. We can use something else like another scoring option, a smarter guy. Like I don't know, bro. Ugh.
And that's something they'll have to target in the offseason. Another guy who can guard on the perimeter so that Ant isn't having to do that.
Mm. Hardy boys. We got Hardy boys. Hardy
Hey,
boys.
man,
Josh Green. Derek Lively. What have I been
boy.
saying?
Hey, the young guys coming through.
Yeah.
Young guys coming through. Let me give shout out to them. Like Jaden Hardy, Josh, you were saying it. Like in order to become a real contender, you're gonna need those guys. You've been saying that, and Jason Kidd must have heard you somehow because he gave them a chance. He been leaning into them a little bit more for energy and defense, and also shot making. Josh Green, timely threes. Jaden Harley, timely threes, and he runs the pick and roll well with Lively.
Exactly. The reason why I would rather go with a guy like Jaden Hardy over a guy like Hardaway.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Hardy is a 3-level scorer and he's a better playmaker. Like
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway, like if he get hot, that's when he's better than Hardy because when he get hot, like Tim Hardaway is, he do what he do. But Jaden Hardy as a pick and roll ball handler, as a scorer, as a catch and shoot guy, if he's confident, he could be one of them guys that can give you 20. If he's rolling. You seen when he started getting rolling, now he feeling
Mm-hmm.
himself, he bouncing a little bit more. Like you got to
Mm-hmm.
get young guys rolling. Josh Green see a couple threes go down. He see get a lob dunk. Same with Lively. Now I told y'all before the season started, Lively was gonna be ready
Yeah.
because I don't think I've seen a big this good at being a role player as Lively is on a team that's already designed to get to a conference finals, get to an actual finals. Derek Lively was ready since day one.
Yeah.
So he's only getting better. I think the young guys, and they was all blue chip talent. They was all blue chip talent, bro. So, man, the next couple years is gonna be real telling. Now the thing is, I just hope Kyrie, like, that's the one thing about the Brunson Kyrie thing.
Mm-hmm.
The age.
Yeah.
It's just the age. Kyrie, the little gray in the top. I'm like, oh, I'm seeing the gray. And it's like, oh man, how long can Kyrie be Kyrie? But
Hey,
I like, hey,
because
this team.
hey,
Huh, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, this team, especially when Kyrie is Kyrie, it's dangerous, and he's he got drug along for a good 3 quarters of the game. I mean, he gave his effort on defense, but offensively, he didn't really have it. He came alive in the fourth quarter. Didn't hit every shot. Didn't miss some free throws and stuff like that. And then but they ended up winning the game and ended up closing it out because he did contribute offensively in that fourth quarter. And so if he's able to continue doing that and be that, big time, big game shot maker, playmaker, yes, the Mavericks are a team to watch out for sure.
Now, I'm not trying to look too far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to look too far ahead. Celtics 2-0 in the East. Mavericks 2-0, 2-0 in the West. Say, bro, I don't think Boston is. It's gonna be hard to say this, but I just don't think Boston is mentally tough enough for Mavericks. They got a better chance against Minnesota. Just
Really?
because you would lean on the experience of Tatum and Brown being to a finals before, being to all these conference finals before.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday winning the finals before, Al Horford, elder statesman. You would lean more on that experience and you would go with that. And they match up pretty well. So I probably would lean Boston against Minnesota, especially
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm seeing Minnesota now. I'm seeing more chinks and was Denver they Super Bowl? Did they already play in a Super Bowl? Because I just don't even feel like I'm seeing the same. You see, you feel me? I don't even
I
feel like I'm
feel
seeing the same Minnesota.
they've, dude, man, they. I mean, it should be it shouldn't be their Super Bowl. I mean, they almost blew their Super Bowl in a way. Like they had to fight down 20, and so it took a lot out of that series. Took a lot out of them. While the Mavs they got theirs done in 6, so they had a little bit extra time to rest. Um, but you're right. I'm not seeing necessarily the same energy, the same anything from Minnesota, and that may be different due to the different matchup. As far as Mavs have more not more offensive weapon, but like Luka and Kyrie are a little bit more in the backcourt wise. That taxes Anthony Edwards. Where I mean Jamal Murray, he wasn't necessarily Kyrie. He was Jamal Murray, but he wasn't the same Jamal Murray as against the Lakers, or in their championship run. So it's a little different as far as the guards having to focus on both Luka and Kyrie. And all these people that thought Luka Kyrie could get locked up by one guy, whether it be Ant or whether it be Jaden McDaniels, that's a shame. Shame on you. Ain't no
Nope.
man. No
You remember what
man.
I said? I said Jaden McDaniels is too small. And what has been
Exactly.
happening? Luka
Yeah.
just putting him on his hip, putting him in jail. Or if he is in front of him, he's just giving him that shoulder. Jaden McDaniels is going that way.
Yeah.
And Luka's getting his shots off. I knew that was gonna be a problem.
No, yeah.
Um and I just Nikhil Alexander Walker is sitting right there. I understand Mike Conley had a better game too. But
Mm-hmm.
if you Chris Finch, you're gonna have to sacrifice what Mike Conley brings, especially if you closing out the lineup because they closed out with I think Nas Reed, Rudy Gobert, Anderson, and I
Yeah.
think I would go a little smaller in my closing lineup, bro. Go a little smaller because as we just seen, this is not. I said this when we was previewing. I said maybe this might not be the series for Rudy Gobert. Just
I agreed with you. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, just go smaller. Like
Yeah.
Nas Reed, and at this point, slow mo, McDaniels, and Nikhil Alexander Walker. You got to close with it, especially the way Jaden McDaniels and Nas Reed has been scoring in the series. We seen
Mm-hmm.
what McDaniels did in game one, and we seen what Nas Reed did in game two, and that's going to be your young core anyway. If
Yeah.
you really want to have just same way with the Mavericks, if you want to have an actual contender team for years to come, it's going to be Anthony Edwards, Nas Reed, and Jaden McDaniels as your young core. Everybody else is good around them, but that's
Mm-hmm.
your core, and they gonna be the ones that you gonna have to rock with going forward into the future. Ray, what's up with you, man? What's your reaction to this game, dog?
It's playoff basketball. Man, I
Did
didn't.
Minnesota go ahead?
Man, Mavericks proved two things in these first two games. The first game, they proved they could dominate. the second game they proved they could persevere.
Hmm.
I think those are two key qualities if you're trying to be a championship type team. But man, with that being said, Minnesota made all the adjustments they possibly could, but it's certain adjustments you can't make. It's just certain things you have to do. And one thing that you can't coach is telling a superstar how to be a superstar. That just has to be in you. And Cat and Ant didn't show that, not in game 1 or 2. Cat didn't even finish the game. I think people overlooking that he couldn't even finish. I don't care how good Nas Reed is. You supposed to be out there on that court.
I agree.
So
Now,
I mean,
hey,
Kyrie had a shaky first half, but he cleaned up in the second.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a superstar is. You're not gonna be good all the time. I don't care how good anybody who done came into the NBA has been. You're not gonna be good every quarter or every half. But he shook back in the second half. I mean, he did have some shaky moments, even in the fourth quarter, missing those free throws. For a second, I was like, God, dog, that's probably gonna come back to bite them in the end. But hey, they did the complete opposite. So
Mary's been a poor free throw shooting team the whole playoffs too. Really throughout the season too.
But Kyrie is an all-time great free throw shooter.
No, not facts.
Not
Not
crazy
facts.
to see.
But it's just like, man, Maris always be disappointed at that free throw line, bro. Luka be missing free throws too. My thing, this is my question though, Ray. Do you want to see Nas Reed minutes go up and Cats go down? Like,
No.
That's a real thing now, in my opinion. Ant could be.
You talking about in like how we seen in the fourth quarter, or just throughout the whole game?
Say, bro, throughout the whole. I just think Nas Reed, he might not be as good as Cat. He might not be as good as Cat, but I feel like he's more consistent. I feel like he's more reliable. I feel like he's smarter. I feel like the intangibles, the skill set versus the intangibles, it balance out. Like his intangibles versus Cat's intangibles, or right here versus Cat's talent versus his talent. So it's like, I'll take the intangible gap over the goddamn skill gap at this point. This playoff basketball, we down 2-0. So for everything.
At this point, though, man, I know we get caught up in who's the more talented player, who's the more skill-based talent, but when it's talking playoff basketball, who producing?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time for you to showcase how much skill you got if it ain't resulting in nothing. So some people can say, I think Nas is better because he's producing. You can say all day long, man, I'm a better player than he is. Well, show me. And Cat ain't showed him this series that he's the better player. So
I've been trying to trade Cat for about 3 months now. Y'all been looking at me and talking to me crazy, but it's just like Cat damn near what? He damn near 30, 28, 29, something like that. At this point, yo, IQ hey, bro. Sometimes somebody just is who they is when it comes to decision making. You're a bad decision maker. That's the worst thing to be in the NBA playoffs, especially as a star. So 4 for 16 as a big too is disgusting.
He 10 for 36 in the series.
He fall in love with that 3-ball too much. And see, that's the thing, like you said, as far as intangibles. He can have A, better shot selection, and B, he can be smarter with his fouls. That's one of his biggest problems. And you think after doing it for multiple postseasons that you would learn something about that, but he for some reason he loves fouling. He loves getting in foul trouble. Maybe that's his excuse to get on the bench and rest some. But that's one thing. And if he was smarter, they could play him down the stretch with Nas Reed and Kyle Anderson, and they can. So they're a little bit more switch when they don't have to rely on Gobert. But when you have Cat doing stuff like that, you have to play Gobert because you don't have all these bigs at your disposal to play.
I just don't trust him. I don't trust him. Go send him somewhere where he can get his empty stats and they not competing for playoffs. It's like the Bradley Beal situation. Like he's better than Bradley Beal, but it's just like, okay, yeah, he can score, he can do this, and that. But do you want him on your playoff team if y'all trying to compete for a championship? Like I said with Bradley Beal, no, I don't. I clearly see it. Like I said, when Suns traded for Bradley Beal, I'm like, this dude was battling with Trae Young in the season last year, and he made every bad decision down the stretch of that fourth quarter. And I was like, yeah, Bradley Beal just not that type of guy. Same with Cat, bad decision maker. Yeah, I'm done with it. Anything else y'all want to say about this series? Y'all got any projections? Y'all think Minnesota could come back? Y'all think this was the nail in the coffin game? Any expectations for Ant?
This was a big game by the Mavericks, especially going up 2-0. Now you go home, all you really got to do is get one. And you can protect home court one time, and you got a 3-0, 3-1 lead. If you mess up that, then that's on you.
Man, this shit over with, bro. This shit over with, bro. This gonna be a gentleman's week.
In a case where you got home court advantage and you down 0-2, when you lose game one, like your back already against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Now they on the ground balled up. It's a case of, are you gonna try to get back up and fight, or are you gonna just stay down there and take the blows? I mean, that's all I'm looking at it from Timberwolves standpoint. Or are they gonna stay curled up, balled up in that corner, or are they gonna try to get back up and get back into the fight? But all Mavericks just got to keep their foot on their neck. That's all they got to do. Like, I mean, it's easier said than done, but don't change up anything you've been doing. Like, obviously, what y'all been doing is working. So I mean, it's that simple for the Mavericks, but for the Timberwolves, some of those guys looking at each other in the locker room like, man, I don't know if I trust you no more.
That's facts. Your role players should not outplay your stars. I don't care what's going on. They had 36 bench points, right? I already said it. Like, when I can noticeably say, man, your other guys was better than your guys. I don't like that. I compared it to Indiana, and why the hell is we comparing Minnesota to Indiana? That in itself is kind of like, So I don't know. Y'all ready to move on to this Eastern Conference Finals?
I think so. I think I've given out all the praise I need to give. I'm overlooked them PJ air balls. We won the game, but I promise you,
hey, bro,
I would have came on here talking bad about him too if we lost this game.
He was clamping Cat. Me and Ray sent the text at the same time. Like, it popped out the screen how bad he was clamping that dude. It was like, whoa. Yeah. So, if you're fulfilling your role in a capacity, we brought you here to play defense. I already knew he couldn't shoot. Like, y'all say what y'all want to say, but I'm not surprised by no shooting display PJ Washington ever puts on. But yeah, man, I shout out to PJ. He's still I'm still impressed by the toughness and defense he brought to the Mavericks. I did not think he was this good of a defender. I didn't think he had that much heart. So I take back what I said about Gafford. He done showed up like a mug in this series. They looking like, bro, this is looking like Lob City with two superstar guards. That is scary.
You got Lob City with Lively, Gafford, and then you can throw Derrick Jones in there too as far as getting up there vertically. Like, when your trio, I'm saying this trio as in Kyrie has 20, Luka has 32, and then the combination of Gafford and Lively gives you 30. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? That's 82 points between them guys right there.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I would never quit.